It is a bright sunny day. I'm glad you're wearing your tea shades, Pika. Jeez, you don't want anyone to take a look, be like, "Whoa, look, your eyes bloodshot, your pupils dilated." Oh, no, I got bags under my eyes. Fuck off. How's it going? It is time for the Comics Talk here with Reverend Sully at your dojo for tactical and practical spirituality. That's right. Did we check the microphone? Check, check, check mic, check, check, testes, 1, 2, testes, 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Hi, it's time for your Comics Talk. It is new release day and happy first day of May. It's May Day. That's like a big thing for like historical reasons. It's the start of Beltane, and I got to watch The Wicker Man tonight. You have to watch The Wicker Man on May 1st. This is your homework, ladies and gentlemen, Adamat and Heron, and all humans in between in the grand spectrum of humanity. That's right. How are you? Good to see everyone that's showing up. Yeah, it's Beltane. It's halfway between the spring equinox and the coming summer solstice. Yeah, it's an Irish thing, you know. Well, I'm Irish American. I'm second generation Irish. I was raised in an Irish home by Irish grandparents from Ireland. Yeah, and yeah. And what do we got today? We've got new comic books. It's new. Not only is it's a big week for comic books, because starting today is the big Marvel event. Coming soon is the big DC event. And the first Saturday every May is New Comic Book Day. It's free Comic Book Day, the first Saturday in May. Every year, it's free Comic Book Day. And free Comic Book Day is it's a thing. It's a I'll read it from a wiki when we get to it. It's wiki worthy. Wiki. That's right. Wiki. Haha. Good to see everyone. Hi, how you doing? I see you in the back. How you doing? Did you bring my $20? You don't have to. I'm just kidding. That was a long time ago, man. I've forgotten all about that. There are too many comic books to count this week, really, because they're all because we usually go to leagueofcomicgeeks.com, which shows this week's offerings on the shelves in the direct market from our local comic book shop. So look at all of these comic books. We start at the end of the list and work our way upward. I don't want to count all those. But yeah, let's start at the bottom of the list. We've got some Archie comics that I will never, ever buy. We've got there's 3 variants here. The only difference between Fairy Tales 1 variant here and this is a metal virgin variant. Yeah, that's supposed to be some kind of like new version of Betty. I'm Team Veronica, to be honest with you. Why? Because her daddy's rich. Yeah, that's a really good Veronica. That's it. I dressed up as Snow White. That's really nice. Let's see. And see, that's a more traditional looking Betty as well. Why won't I buy? I say it every time. I won't get an Archie comic ever again. And look at this. We got Becca Boo the Bimbo Ghost. from Obscura Comics. And what we have, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 variant copies of Beckaboo the Bimbo Ghost from Obscura Comics. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 variant covers for Betty and Veronica, Friends Forever, Fairy Tales. Yeah, huh? Let's see. Chamber of Chills from Harvey Comics. About Harvey Comics. That's someone we've never talked about, really. We probably have once or twice. Harvey Comics. Harvey Comics. Yeah, because we covered the golden age of DC Comics. We barely ever talked about Harvey Comics. Harvey Comics, also known as Harvey World, Famous Comics, Harvey Publications, Harvey Comics Entertainment, Harvey Hits, Harvey Illustrated Humor, and Harvey Picture Magazines, was an American comic book publisher founded in New York City by Alfred Harvey in 1941. And let's see. Here is the wiki. The wiki! This is the Harvey logo. I remember seeing this growing up. This is the Harvey logo from 1959 to 1982. The Harvey brothers joined in. Yeah. And it was defunct 22 years ago. Its successor is the Harvey Entertainment Group, eventually owned by DreamWorks Classics. And DreamWorks Classics is an American entertainment company owned by DreamWorks Animation, a subsidiary of Universal Pictures, a division of NBC Universal, which in turn is a subsidiary of Comcast. It's Turtles all the way down. But Harvey had Casper the Friendly Ghost and Richie Rich. Let's see. And Harvey's mascot is named Joker, a Harlequin Jack-in-the-Box character. He was the mascot of the cartoon short series Novel Tunes, which brought many Harvey comic characters to life. He also appeared as a cameo in the ending of the film Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And yeah, Harvey began a shift to licensed characters in 1942 in the golden age of DC, in the golden age of comic books. The golden age of comics run from 1938 until 1955. Technically 1945. The Atom Age is between 1945 and 1955. And the Silver Age begins in 1956 until 1970. The Bronze Age between 1970 and 1984, the Copper Age between 1984 and 1993, and we've been in some nebulous catch-all modern age of comics from 1993 until this very day. And I get these definitions of the ages of comic books from the glossary you'll find at the end of any Overstreet comic book price guide. And I have to get a new copy. I've got a couple of them. They're like 3 years old though, so it's like it's good to have a more current version. So yeah, Harvey Comics. They had Chamber of Chills here with 2 variant covers. Let's see, 3 variant covers. Why don't we start off the bottom of the list? Because sometimes there might be something you might have missed. See, we got Betty and Veronica Jumbo Comics Digest for $9.99. And I hopefully it's mostly like just reprints of old comics. I read I got in my digital pirate chest last week, 2 weeks ago, an RT Digest comic. It was about racing, car racing and stuff. And a lot of it had to do with the term drag racing too, which was in the 20th century connotation of it, which meant, which could be an illegal car race between younger people who have souped up, a custom automobile. for the sake of, having local competitions, which were dangerous and against the law. And so I'm just like surprised, like, oh, wow, they're actually, it's just like, yeah. Let's see, what else is here? Lots of comic books. We have Void Rivals #5, a 4th printing. Congratulations. I mixed up Robert Kirkman's name with Jonathan Hickman's name at the end of Comics Aficionados last Saturday. It happens. All right. I know. It's my bad. I had a Hickman on the mind because we were just talking about X-Men, and I had just had in my hand my copy of Ultimate Spider-Man 4 from last week. This is Ultimate Spider-Man from 3rd printing, Fan Expo Philly 2024. New Ultimate Spider-Man for a new. Okay, yeah, this is the Hickman, but that is done in the old Ultimate Spider-Man style. Yeah, me too. I was like, I confused Cassetti for Cicchetto as well. I made two faux pas like right at the end of the episode. Please forgive me. Please forgive your Sully. He means so well. He really does. He's very well intended. Cobra Commander #1 was that an 8th printing, 3rd printing. That's cool. That means like these subsequent printings. That's what Joshua Williamson is. He's getting paid now for this gig. That's good, and he got paid to do it initially. Now, hopefully, he'll have some incentives kicking in. You know what I mean? Like this is Duke #3, a 2nd printing. That's cool. I don't need it. I don't know. Transformers 1, 6th printing. Damn, that's great. That is really cool. Faith Returns, Valiant Comics. People like to make fun of this book because it's a full-figured, body-positive superheroine. And will this be on Alien Books as well? Let's see. It should be right here on the trade dress. Yep, Alien Books, $4.99. Jody Hauser is writing it, and not to be confused with Faith of the Justice League of America. She was, I don't know whatever happened to Faith from JLA. Let's see, free comic book day stuff. So yeah, we're going to start seeing lots of free comic book day. Free comic book day stuff will be available on Saturday, and you can only get them if you go to your local comic book shop and get there early as well. And free comic book day is kind of misleading because your local comic book shop is paying for those books. Seriously, your local comic book shop, your LCS. One of the big things of our show here at the Comics Talk, formerly the Comics Coffee Table. Speaking of coffee, it's time for refresh my cup. After the show on last Saturday, we had special guest, comics legend Art T-Bear, as our special guest. And we're backstage in the green room after the show, and we were signing off, and RT Bear literally says to me, Sully, I just have a question. Are you really drinking all that coffee? I'm like, yes. Yes, I am. And I had a great conversation with Art T Bear. That was so good. I love his work. It's great that I get to actually, it's a really cool thing about being a comic books fan, that you can meet your heroes. You can go to comic book conventions, and it's a big thing about comic book conventions lately, and gatekeeping, especially if you have conservative voices. We saw this at C2E2 this last weekend, and also, civil disobedience and peaceful non-resistance and pacifism, and just stand up to bullies. too. You don't have to stand for that. It's still America, still the home of the free. You still have freedom, But thank God, John Malin, way to go. That's all I'll say about it. Let's see. Let's get back to, it's your local comic book shop, your LCS. They're a mom and pop brick and mortar shop. It's the American way that Superman is talking about every time he says truth, justice, and the American way. And what? You want truth, justice, and the Pikachu way? You get that every day here. You know it. It's Wednesday, so we're pre-recorded before a live studio audience of my stuffed animals and my Starfleet too. Throw another log on the fire. But yeah, your local comic book shop, your LCS, is it's an independent bookstore. It really is, and the only way they stay open is when people show up and buy stuff. So like I get my supplies there. I need bags, I need boards, I need boxes. I don't buy them from my online supply chain. And I could be getting a price break there and free delivery as well using my online supply chain. Because it takes effort to go out and it takes effort to bring stuff home too. I don't have a car. But still, people still have to load up their car, you know what I mean? And drive and then bring everything in the house, just so there's that too. So, but yeah, go to your local comic book shop this Saturday. It's free comic book day. We're going to read it from, you guessed it, the wiki. And, I say it like that because, it's a reference to Red Letter Media, Rich Evans, who's got a high registered voice. But I just love Rich Evans. He's a good guy. And or maybe he's not. I don't know him. I really don't. Free Comic Book Day from the Wiki is an annual promotional effort by the North American comic book industry to attract new readers to independent comic book bookstores. It usually takes place on the first Saturday of May and has historically been cross-promoted with the release of a superhero film, which we do not have this free comic book day. Its genre is promotional. It's promotion and cultural. That is the free comic book day logo that you usually will see on like on your bag, like a plastic bag. Your comic book shop may use bags that have this logo on it. Over 2,000 participating stores will give away millions of comic books annually. Here we go. The event was proposed by Joe Field in the August 2001 issue of Comics and Games Retailer magazine, and Free Comic Book Day was launched in 2002, coordinated by the industry's single large distributor, Diamond Comics Distributor. Since then, the Diamond Comics' monopoly has been broken up. Penguin Random House, other places too, like Lunar. So Free Comic Book Day has become an official Children's Book Week event and has inspired similar events for German and Dutch language comics industries. And this will be the 22nd Free Comic Book Day. Will be this coming Saturday, May 4th, 2024. Yeah. And in 2007, the cost to the retailer were 12 to 24 cents per copy for the top tier and as high as 50 cents for the second tier. The minimum buy-in is about $50. This is a wiki. So, but here's your source. Guy Gonzalez from 2005 interview, Field on Free Comic Book Day, archived. Yes, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And yeah, it's Free Comic Book Day, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Free Comic Book Day. What are you going to get? I usually try to go to 2 stores, my 2 locals. One's on a, it's in a nice loop. Instead of going to my village square, I take the bus to an adjoining town, city of, it's not a town. They're all cities. And the towns you get like a little further out. But adjoining to Boston are all cities. The city of Quincy, the city of Somerville, the city of Cambridge, the city of Everett, and so on and so forth. And I took the bus up to the city of Arlington. And go to the Magic Dragon. Say hi to everyone, because they're gonna have different free comics than my other store, and then take the bus down the street, and then go to my local where I have my pull list. We have annuals too, so wow. DC's got their annuals this week. Some of them. $5.99. 48 pages. Written by Travis Moore. More of this, and his writer-artist. Is he doing the whole thing? B. Bennett, the Pirate Queen. I did like that there was a city, Bloodhaven is a city that's kind of close to Gotham. I guess it would be like if it's Baltimore to Gotham's New York City. Baltimore is south of New York. And they share, the Atlantic Ocean. Baltimore is one of the biggest seaports in the United States of America. I wonder if it's still closed. That bridge falling, the Francis Scott Key Bridge. Yeah. London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. But yeah, so you got Nightwing Annual. How many? We got 1 variant cover. Wow, I guess that doesn't show superior faith in this magazine. We have X-Men 34, the penultimate issue of this volume. This is Jerry Duggan, Joshua Cassara. And we've got 3 variant covers. And the end is nigh. The Krakoan age is nearly at an end. And what might be the final battle of the heroes of Krakoa? One last stop before the fall and the rise to their conclusion, and everything changes. Hopefully, they just go out to dinner and they just talk over supper. They have a talk. Immortal Thor number 10, beautiful cover by Alex Ross. And see, you click the wrong thing and it just pops up at yeah. $4.99. Enchantress talking to the Minotaur in the back. And there are the heads of Roxxon right now with Scourge the Executioner. And what they did was they bought a Thor, like Roxxon as a company has a fictionalized Thor. Thor must die. The son of Odin faces 3 of his greatest foes in battle with the fog of magic closing around him. Yet even if he won, he lost. For Thor fought not for his life, but for his death. This is the story of the immortal Thor and the Minotaur's Final Triumph. It's $4.99, 28 pages. That means you're getting 20 pages of story and art, usually. And then there's the cover. And that's definitely art, because that's an Alex Ross cover. And you got 2 variant covers. Michelle Marchese, the assistant editor. Will Moss is the editor. Are the headphones supposed to mean they're on the spectrum? I don't know. None of my business. As long as she can do her job well, Incredible Hulk number 12. This will be it. This is on my pull list. And I'm waiting. Thank God Nick Klein is returning to. Oh, it's not saying that, like, it's pretty good. I mean, the New Orleans arc with Danny Earls was okay. It didn't, for me, I'm really into this Nick Klein art. Yeah. There's 2 variant covers. I like variant covers. And written by Philip Kennedy Johnson, Nick Klein's art, and you keep making them, I'll keep buying them. I've never been a Hulk reader before, and I'm really liking it. Oh, so he's Brother Voodoo once again. That's great. Why not? I mean, it's a good name. I thought it was Dr. Voodoo for a while, and then, oh God, here we go. And another DC annual. We're looking at 3 all day so far. I'm going to shrink this a little bit. I'm sorry. These ads are just irking me. Here we go. We've got 1 variant cover. Cardstock variant cover. This is $5.99. 48 pages. The Flash family needs help from Barry Allen. With Wally MIA, Central City needs help dealing with all the bizarre new threats that have arisen. So thankfully, Wallace West, Avery Ho, and Circuit Breaker are here to help. But can they count on Barry Allen, who is having a crisis of his own? And yes, Ister Spurrier, Scott Koblish is on this, Tom Derrick. Hey, look, Hassan Atsmani Allahu is doing the lettering, and he's not on the cover? What the heck? Stranded in the Speed Force in a purple world. Remember, purple is fine. Purple is fine. Purple is everywhere in DC Comics these days, and in comic books everywhere. We have this majestic purple is the color of understanding and of unity, and also the blues don't really understand the whole allegory thing. That's okay, because you need to work with the reds and have reds included with the blues to get this beautiful color of purple that you choose to use everywhere in these comic books. Yes, I'm saying that. Invincible Iron Man, number 18, written by Jerry Duggan. And we got 2 variant covers here. Pepe Larraz design variant cover. See, I like stuff like that. It's made of Mysterium. And what kind of outfit is this? This is the Pete Woods black costume variant art. It's a miss for me. I'll tell you that much. It's a miss. And side by side with Magneto. For years, the master of magnetism was Iron Man's greatest fear. But to take down Orchis, will Tony have to work with the X-Men's former adversary, who's just freshly back from the dead? Hello. Come on. Would you take him out for shawarma first? He might be hungry, And will a fight against every Sentinel on Earth be too much for even these 2 powerhouses? 28 pages, $3.99. Fall of the House of X trade dress. Same with Avengers as well. I mean, They'll have their own trade paperbacks, I presume. But I don't think that, see, the Mark 72 armor is made out of the mutant metal Mysterium. Therefore, I'm not sure if Magneto, the master of magnetism, could manipulate Mysterium. It's yet to be seen, yet to be written. We have The Vengeance of Moon Knight, number 5, written by Jed McKay. 2 variant covers. People seem to like it. And this is a Blood Hunt tie-in. See, we have the Blood Hunt trade dress. This is literally part 5 of the 59 issues. This is at $4.99 for 28 pages. Let's see, what's it? Let's just do like an envelope kind of math here. That's 59 issues. It's $3.99. This one's $4.99. Let's say $4.25. So it's going to be about $250 if we just say for $4.25, because you're going to have a couple of $3.99 issues sprinkled throughout. You're going to have a couple of $6.99ers. I know I'm paying $6.99 for my copy of Blood Hunt. We're going to get to that in just a minute, because Blood Hunt number 1 does come out this week, starting off the summer event, because this is going 5 issues. So that's May, June, July, August, September. So it is time for Blood Hunt. I am reading the Blood Hunt core title because it's got art by Pepe Larraz. We're going to get to that in just a second. But yeah, Moon Knight 5. Let's see, and oh boy, the Harley Quinn annual. It's $5.99, 48 pages, and okay, we got 1 variant cover. We've got writer-artist Erica Henderson. And she does the cover art too. She has both covers. And is this supposed to be some kind of fashion page that you see on your phone? Yeah. Oh, they took away Harley's boobies. Aw. Let's see. His hand is priceless. Kissing Tiger's bracelet. Whatever. I mean, yeah. So, sure. Let's go to Free Comic Book Day. This is the prologue. So this is funny because this comes out on Saturday, okay? And it's for free. And it's Blood Hunt number 1 plus X-Men from the Ashes. So this is going to have probably a couple of pages of Blood Hunt number 1 and a couple of pages of Gail Simone's Uncanny X-Men as well. Or maybe its own stuff. But will this have different content? Probably just a couple, there was already a prelude issue that was supposedly, it was advertised on here as an issue 0, but it didn't say issue 0 anywhere on the cover. King Spawn 33. This is available on Saturday. I might pick this up maybe if it's available. Free Comic Book Day, Ultimate Universe Spider-Man number 1. Just weeks ahead. Oh, so this is actually, that's misleading, because it would have, or maybe it would have just said Ultimate Spider-Man, but no, it's showing you stuff from the upcoming Return of the Goblin and Amazing Spider-Man. Plus, prepare for the next evolutionary step of the Ultimate Universe as a powerful new hero debuts. Yeah. So yeah. Blood Hunt number 1 for $5.99 and Blood Hunt Red Band Edition number 1 for $6.99. 48 pages. This is one of 5, written by Jed McKay, who I kind of have no problems with, but art by Pepe Larraz, and I love his stuff. This is the summer event. This is the core title, and There will be blood. Blood, blood, blood. Polybagged for your protection. The red band edition of Blood Hunt #1 contains additional pages. Oh, wow. I'm not even going to open this. I'm just going to read, my digital copy, my pirate copy, and just leave this unopened. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. This red band one, I like this, and I want to get behind this because it's $1 more. It's his warning. It's got extra bloody content or something, just like and here's the Lionel Yu variant cover. Cool shit. Buddy, I'm getting the red band ones just because these are exclusive to comic book shops, to the direct market. We have the Absolute Power Special Edition #1, the prelude to the epic adventure, with Dan Mora art and writer is Mark Waid and the artist is Michael Janin. All right, who's pretty darn good. With and you got 2 covers. You have a blank variant and a Dan Mora foil variant for Free Comic Book Day. It's a foil variant. It's $9.99. The ironic one. And the blank variant is $4.99. Okay, sure. All right. Now that's cute. Let's get the Free Comic Book Day a variant cover and charge for it. All right. Mark Waid is writing it. Dan Mora is doing the art for the core of Absolute Power. And the word absolute is just it's got that is like that's what's leading into the absolute DC universe. Yes. We have Superman House of Brainiac special #1, $5.99. And look, it says 2.5. You see that? But I'm in for these. Yes. It's written by Joshua Williamson. And yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I'm in for this. I'm in for Joshua Williamson Superman and his House of Brainiac crossover. Sure. Why not? Deadpool and Wolverine World War III #1. This is Joe Kelly, Adam Kubert. Got a bunch of variant covers. Let's get it. Like, the movie is coming out soon. Got to get something out here. I will be getting this if I'm lucky. If I'm a good boy, I'll find this. I love the Energon universe, and hopefully this will start just pulling some threads together. Especially Void Rivals, which seems to be doing the cosmic stuff. There is a lot of cosmic stuff, because Cybertron, it's out in outer space. Weapon X-Men #3. Sure. I mean, it's I don't know. It's kind of all over the place. It's a multiverse team of Wolverines teaming up to do something and save stuff. Cable #4, Follow the House of X. How many more have left? This is 4. It's 4 of 4. This is it. And yeah. I mean, wasn't great, in my humble opinion. We got Spider-Woman #7. We have a Lionel Yu cover. Wonderful Lionel Yu cover. Peach Momoko Black. Oh my gosh. Oh God, I gotta get this, don't I? I picked up Yul Carter from Fantastic Comics in Berkeley, California, set aside Amazing Spider-Man 47 and 48 for me. And oh man, I don't need it. I just want it. I really want that Peach Momoko cover. Yes, please. Ellie Pyle is the editor of Spider-Woman. Who is Mr. Daniel? Let's see. Indeed. And that's Captain America of the New Champions. I'm not familiar with that character. This iteration of my iconic superhero. I feel like, I have a full-on Captain America cosplay. It's a commitment. Trust me. That's stuff that's I've worn that. See, convention time in Boston is in the summertime, and that's a leather jacket, and it's unbearable. The first time I wore it, I had to have it inside out for it to dry off. Seriously. Let's see. Free Comic Book Day, Star Wars. I would get this. Oh, no. He's got a great pack story in it. It's probably Charles Soule who's doing the Darth Vader book, and Greg Upack who's doing fuck Upack is doing Vader. Soule is doing Star Wars proper. But see the hilt to this lightsaber. I believe this is the gold lightsaber in this canon, the disc canon of the Marvel Star Wars canon. The gold. He got this from a Jedi Temple guard. It's a relic, and it's a hand-me-down, and it's meant to be a fill-in until he builds his green lightsaber. But that's Phil Notto art. I love Phil Notto art. I think that's pretty. I like this as a, I don't like the yellow lightsaber thing. Now the yellow lightsaber has Now Charles Soule, I believe it was Soule. He said he wanted to use a yellow lightsaber in this new continuity because of the Kenner action figure from 1978, 1980. I'll show you. Kenner Star Wars action figure Luke Skywalker. Present. Okay, this is I had this action figure, and it had a telescoping lightsaber that came out of its hand, out of its arm, that didn't bend. It did not bend at the elbow. There was no point of articulation here, but it's hollow. And on the other side of his arm there's a slot where there was a tab. Yeah, see, there we go. Where you could telescope the lightsaber off and on, and you had this small tether where you could pull it as well. So that was imaginary. This little whip part is imaginary. The only thing that matters, it's there, but it's there to be practical. You could also tweeze it off or cut it off, but just the cylinder part of it, that's the lightsaber blade. But see, there's a thoughtful mechanism there. Okay, this was also the same kind of style for Obi-Wan Kenobi as well, and Darth Vader, whose lightsaber could ignite. So it's imaginary. It came from the lightsaber hilt, which was built into their hand. Okay, and present same deal. This is my favorite action figure at the time. He came with a blaster and a lightsaber, but the lightsaber again was yellow, not blue, as in Anakin's lightsaber. All right, so it's kind of like it's. Then we got a green lightsaber. We finally get a green lightsaber. Wow, $1,500. And it's unopened blister pack. Wow. Insane. Wow. I love this blister pack. I love the look of everything here. This font here, Luke Skywalker, Bespin Fatigues. It just brings me back. You know, but he had a blaster and a lightsaber. And then you have like the lightsaber molded like hanging from the belt too, you know? And then by the time Return of the Jedi comes out, we get full on we get the green lightsaber. Let's go back to New Comic Book Day. But yeah, Free Comic Book Day. So I'll skip that one. I don't really care. Let's see. Free Comic Book Day, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1. Space Ghost #1 on Dynamite. Now here's a good one. Get Fury #1. This is written by Garth Ennis, and who will be on this week's Mark Miller's Miller Time. These two old friends. Garth Ennis is Irish. Mark Miller is Scottish. And they were the same generation of bombastically great writers in the second British invasion of comic books. And this Jason Burrows is doing the penciling. It's Guillermo Ortega is inking, so we're gonna have some classic Frank Castle Punisher versus Nick Fury. This is great. This is, it's 1971. There's a war raging in Vietnam, and Nick Fury has been captured by the Viet Cong. And they're going to send in Lieutenant Frank Castle. So this is before he becomes Punisher, but Garth Ennis is a classic Punisher writer. Probably one of the best after Mike Baron. I'll say that. Here's something I'll get. Oh, yeah, I'm going to get that. Not this one. Oh, Marvel Voices. Marvel Voices. Yay. Okay, sure. This is the Worlds of James Tynion IV. Free Comic Book Day. Hellboy. Stranger Things. Free Comic Book Day. Crave #6. The Blood Brothers Mother. #1. $8.99 on Distillery. Now this is Azzarello and Risso. These two brought us 100 Bullets back in the day, and on DC Vertigo. I love that combo. I could get that. I've been known to partake of the Azzarello-Risso combination. That's my cuppa. That's literally my flavor of coffee. Conan and the Battle of the Black Battlestone. The Battle of the Black Stone. That's Free Comic Book Day for Titan. They did. And it's been a year since Conan #0 from Titan on Free Comic Book Day last year. And everyone's like, did you get Conan #0? Did you get Conan #0? And I am a sucker for a 0 issue. I really am. Marvel Comics is doing an episode 1, The Phantom Menace. adaptation. Interesting, because Dark Horse Comics already did it. This is written by Greg Pak. Let's see. Let's just look it up. Dark Horse Comics. The Phantom. Yeah. Episode 1, the Dark Horse Comics. This was written by Henry Gilroy. Penciler was Rodolfo DiMaggio. Inker was Al Williamson. And it collects Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, numbers 1 through 4. That was the Dark Horse era. And so we get this one. We got a Phil Noto cover. And this is the 25th anniversary of Phantom Menace. And it's funny because there was Star Wars declined to publish their adaptation of The Rise of Skywalker. They had it solicited. They had it planned. But what happened? What happened there? I would love to ask someone. I would love to get the answer for that. You know, what happened? Is there a story? I am a sucker for a Zero issue, and I am a sucker for Jeremy Adams, and I am in for this. It's Flash Gordon on Mad Cave Studios, and I'm really looking forward to this, and I want this issue 0. I will find you. Ranger Academy number 7. You know, I don't buy that. Not literally or figuratively, but it's more of like, no, Zordon said, Alpha, I need 5 teenagers with attitude. Oh, Zordon! You know, they don't need, Power Rangers don't need an academy. You just need 5 Rangers with attitude. Go Power Rangers. My Mad Magazine. Free comic book day. Interesting. I would get that just to check it out. Spidey and His Amazing Friends. Previews. Johnny Quest number 1 from Dynamite Comics. Yeah, let's see that. Yeah, sure. Okay. All 732 of you out there who are still original Johnny Quest fans. Young Jedi Adventures. Look, it's Jedi babies. They do the same for you. Da, 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 da. Jedi babies, don't point your lightsaber at your friends when you're feeling all afraid of stuff. And Master Anakin comes in the door. You say, Master Jedi, what should we do? And then he ignites his lightsaber and points it at you. That's the worst ever. Why did you write that, Pika? I'm only the talent. I swear. I mean, he's the executive producer. He makes all the show notes. I am the talent. I just read what Pikachu writes. Okay, it's we have a simple recipe here. Yeah. There's Negaduck from Darkwing Duck. Free Comic Book Day, Doctor Who number 1. Sure. Udon's got Free Comic Book Day, Street Fighter versus Final Fight number 1. Interesting. Let's see. The Valiants from Valiant Comics. Maybe not. Barkham Asylum. Yeah, sure. We've got a young adult, a YA graphic novel slice of it for Free Comic Book Day. It's Barda. Yep. And I wonder if there's any swaps going on here. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. It looks. We have Gotcha Man number 0. I would love to get that. Power Pack Into the Storm number 5, all the way at the end of this list. Let's see what else. We've got Star Trek, Sons of Star Trek #2. Rebel Moon, House of Blood of the Blood Axe #4. Ultimate Spider-Man #1, 5th printing. Damn. Free Comic Book Day, The Overstreet Guide to Collecting Comics #1. I like those. I think those are cool. I look for those on Free Comic Book Day. I'm into the Overstreet guides. The Overstreet guides are just great. Free Comic Book Day, some Asterix. That would be so fun. Let's see. Star Wars Insider. RoboForce. #1 on Oni Press. The Nacelverse begins here. What does that even mean? Well, you have to tune in to find out. Romeo versus Juliet, a Kill Shakespeare adventure. Interesting. That's actually what it came down to, though, right? Unicorn Crush, Free Comic Book Day. Lester of Lester Gods. Interesting. Punk Mambo, the Punk Witch Project. Again, I saw this before, and it's like that's just completely ripping off like the punk rock Jesus thing. I mean, and we've come to the end of the list where we started from at the beginning of the show. And that's it for New Comic Book Day. And for Free Comic Book Day coming up this Saturday. So it's the first Saturday in May. And go to your local comic book store. Get some free comic books. Bring the kids. You'll never see more kids in a comic book store than the first Saturday of May. And it's just a wonderful time. And support local businesses, mom and pop shops. Indeed. I hope you're all doing awesome. So what are you picking up this week? Let us know in the comment section. What are you putting down? What are you looking forward to seeing on Saturday? Are you going to Free Comic Book Day? I am. I'm going to 2 stores, maybe 3. Who knows? Just make the rounds. Just be like and celebrate our local comic book shops. And just like I say about my activism is about capitalism. It's about free enterprise, and it's about independent, local businesses. That's right. That's where society works on the local level. And how do we keep that American way going? Shop at the little stores that are in our little towns and in our cities and in our neighborhoods. Shop as much as you can locally. I think that's a good thing. And Free Comic Book Day is a celebration of that. And I'm also thinking of some stores that have closed, such as New England Comics and Harvard Square. I'd love going there on New Comic Book Day. You could get mostly everything there. Yeah. It was nice. But they're a chain, and they're contracting. They just lost their Brookline store as well. So, hey, go to your local comic book shop. Spend your money there. Get your supplies there. That's the most important thing. Not just getting your new releases, your back issues, your trade paperbacks and collections, your manga. You know what I mean? You can get your manga there too. You can order your manga there as well. I know it's just like, it seems like you've already been introduced to the online supply chain. It's so superfluous sometimes. Like, why would I order my manga through my local comic book shop? I literally been buying Dragon Ball Super for several years now. And how will it continue after the demise of Akira Toriyama? And but I was buying Dragon Ball Super when I was on hiatus from comic books, from floppies. I took a break in 2018 after Heroes in Crisis. And I came back pretty recently within the past 2 years. And, but at least I could say I was buying a manga frequently, so I would pre-order it on Amazon, and they usually go for $10 brand new. And I end up getting $2.50 off of it. It's some retroactive sale discount, for pre-ordering it. But all those little 250s will add up, for every 4 volumes, it pays for 1. And it's up to volume 21 now. So it's already paid for itself 5 times, So I've already gotten 5 free copies. Every 4th or 5th, every 5th one's free or something like that, if you take into consideration taxes and shipping and handling and other stuff like that. But so I do get stuff through my online supply chain. I'm human. I'm a person. I'm not flawless. I am a sinner. Yes, I don't exactly so you have to live life. You have to do what's convenient. You have to, I'm not giving you rules to live by. I'm not giving this is an internet show. It's about comic books. And in a perfect world, you too would go to your local comic book shop once a week and find exactly what you want, with or without a pull list. You know what I mean? And have some escapism and have some have a hobby, and your hobby should never be stressful. Or if it's made its stresses be really within its within its domain and in its space. I mean, fandom opinions and toxicity and outrage culture is one thing. But when you're building a model and you mess something up, can you fix it? Can you paint over it? You know what I mean? How can you, there's an oh, damn it moment, or an anxiety when or that you missed something. I know that missing things on new release day always kind of just takes the air out of it for me. Oh, you shitting me? It's new release day. The store's been open only a couple of hours and you're already out of this. And I was like, what about the shopper that comes in on Saturday? Well, that's what a pull list is for. Well, guess what? Yeah, you're right. That is what a pull list is for. And, yeah, you learn, you shop around your pull list, and yeah, so go to your local comic book shop, especially this Saturday, and may it be crowded and may it be full of children. There's nothing more pleasing than young people in a comic book store. I mean that holistically, because I was a young person in a comic book store, seriously, and it's a wondrous place. It's also a dangerous place too, because you have to if you're going to allow children into your comic book store, may it be a comic book store appropriate of having children in, because they're comics are a spectrum, especially when it comes to content and what's appropriate. I mean, indeed. And we started the show off January 1st, 2022. And I used something to help me execute a vision of mine. And it was to do a daily comic book show. And I would literally sandbag them. I would shoot them all on my days off on Saturdays and Sundays. I'd keep to a shoot schedule. You know what I mean? Shoot 4 on a Saturday and 3 on a Sunday, or flip-flop that, especially when Wes started having me on Thinking Critical's Comics Aficionados show. Thank you, Wes. I would like shoot like 2 or 3, like from like 6 in the morning till like 6 to 9, and then eat something for breakfast, and then be on Wes at 10 o'clock, and then shoot like 4 more on Sunday, and then release them scheduled. I call it the perch method. And you have keep to a shoot day, you know, have a schedule, have an executive producer leave you show notes, have a template for your show, have an intro, have an outro, you know, have a you know, I like to say like this show is unscripted, unfiltered, unedited, but you know, it's not unformatted. We do definitely have, you know, we've earned that knowledge and how to pull off a TV show or a YouTube show, sketch out an idea, you know, have a game plan, you know, set a timer. Set a timer. I haven't used this thing in forever, but it's like that the old show did. You would hear the turkey, you would hear it, you know. The turkey's done, you know. You would hear that, and then be time to wrap up the show. And but we started off on January 1st, 2022, with daily positive. That was the intent was to do something positive, because the outrage cultures are what got me into being a YouTuber, and I don't know if are they outraged? Well, some of this, I think that's kind of about an incendiary term to like put on channels. I guess their opponents would definitely call them outrage content. Their opponents would definitely call them anti-woke. Their opposites would definitely call them right-wing chuds, and they're not really. They're more like, I always thought I was classically liberal in the middle. And like that seems to be like the sounding of a lot of us, but also I just couldn't spend my days just like constantly getting wound up about things that are out of my control. But also, on the other hand, the whole out of your control thing, I mean, your voice is getting heard, and there is pushback to it, and there also is legitimate effort in small places. Like, look at your X-Men 97. I mean, people seemed very pleased with that. Look at Fallout on Amazon Prime, the live action. People seem very pleased with that. Going back to some kind of earnestness of let's tell, just, you can have all the ingredients you want in it. It's the intent of your story. People can smell a stinker. You know what I mean? Is your intent activism or is your intent storytelling? People can suss that out pretty, you know what I mean? And just it's authenticity versus a simulation of escapism. I feel that, yeah, I really do. And so yes, we made the conscious choice to try to be as positive as we can be, and that's our brand. That's what we do here. We're a dojo for tactical and practical spirituality. Reverend Sully, ordained on the internet half a lifetime ago. I've performed 4 weddings, and I haven't done that in a long time. But I'm a spiritual guy, and I'm a seeker, and this is the pulpit. This is not my platform. This is my pulpit. It's a different intent there, you know. January 1st. 2022, we started with this, the golden age of DC Comics, 365 days, where I would take this well-loved coffee table book given to me about 2 decades ago by one of my best friends, and this coffee table book was surfing my coffee table for those 20 years. This is a 20-year-old book. It's beaten up. It's been the corners are taped up. This is an Abrams publication. It's written and curated by Les Daniels, Chip Kidd, and photographed by Jeff Spear. So they're not actual pages of a comic book. They're photographs of aspects of pages of Golden Age comic books. Golden Age of comic books happens between 1938 and 1955. Specifically, the Golden Age runs from 1938 until 1945. And then there's an Atom Age, ATOM, Atom Age, from 1945 to 1955. I got that definition from the glossary in the Overstreet Comic Book Price Guide, which I felt was like, arguments where you need standards, right? Can we have agreeable standards? Just because your standards is coming from your belief system doesn't mean I have to accept that as valid. I mean, no, we're trying to get to the heart of a matter. Turkey's done. Exactly. Remember that? And, but, in order for us to agree, I have to believe in your beliefs. No, I don't think that doesn't. Yeah, exactly. What is the Atom Age? I'll show you and tell you. See right here, the Atom comics published between 1946 and 1956. What is an ashcan? What is an arrival date? What's a British issue? But what's the Golden Age? But so the gold, but people kind of ignore that, and so consider the Golden Age going from 1938, the first appearance of Superman in Action Comics #1, April of 1938, until 1955, and the Comics Code Authority seal of approval, Dr. Frederick Wertham. Let's see, what is the Seduction of the Innocent? Dr. Frederick Wertham. And it was a 1954 book that warned that comic books were a negative form of popular literature and a serious case of juvenile delinquency. The book was taken seriously at the time in the United States and was a minor bestseller that created alarm in American parents and galvanized them to campaign for censorship. And at the time, a U.S. congressional inquiry was launched into the comic book industry. Subsequent to the publication of Seduction of the Innocent, the Comics Code Authority was voluntarily established by publishers to self-censor their titles. In the decades since the publication, Wertham's research has been disputed by scholars, which is the basis of science. If your theory can survive academic peer review and being debunked, then it's worthy, is it not? Let's see. But yeah, so the Golden Age at DC Comics. So the Golden Age runs between 1938 and 1955. And so as in 1956, you have the Comics Code Authority seal of approval, and you have also showcase #4, which is the debut of Barry Allen, the Silver Age Flash. And then you had this update of all the DC superheroes, and that started the whole Earth 1, Earth 2 thing by Flash 123. And so it goes. And also the Bronze Age runs from 1970 until 1984. I'm a Bronze Age baby. There is the Copper Age, which runs between 1984 and 1993. I'm serious. It took me a while to wrap my head around Copper Age. It's just see, this is the comics published from 1984 to 1992. What happened in 1993? Image Comics and DC's Vertigo imprint. Dark Horse Comics doing new Star Wars license with Lucas book. I mean, just it was on. But it ends at the was it the current age of comics? Is this what's the now age of comics? The pioneer age was comics published from the 1500s to 1828. The platinum age were comics from 1883 to 1938. That would be like newspaper stuff, you know, pre-code, the car, you know, seduction of the innocent. The current run. What doesn't say? Doesn't say the now age. Adult material. British issue backup. Infinity cover. Trying to find what's like the Mile High collection. Perfect binding. Pre-code DC. Pre-hero DC. Provenance was when an owner of a book is known, is stated for the purpose of authenticating and documenting the history of the book. Example, a book from the Stan Lee or Forrest Ackerman collection would be an example of value adding provenance. Reading. Run. A group of comics of one title where most of or all of the issues are present. See complete run. Super villain. Text Elio. A drawing or small panel in a text story that almost never has a dialogue balloon. Indeed. So yeah, we use this book to we would open up to today's date. We would look at some comic book art of an antediluvian age. We would read the blurb, and then we're going to talk about comic books. And we're going to talk about comic books, you guessed it, every day for the rest of the year. Remember that? I do. That was great. And so let's do it. It's May the 1st. Dun, dun, dun. Minus a pilot, the plane suddenly noses over into a dive. The helpless inspector eyes the rapidly approaching sea and his doom. Dun, dun, dun. This is story and art by Ed Winarski from Adventure Comics, number 42, September of 1939. World War II is going on over in Europe, and the United States will not enter World War II until December of 1941. That's almost 1942, you know, and that would only be in the Pacific Theater. May 1st. Let's read the blurb. More aviation fun from writer-artist Ed Winarski, who seemed to specialize in that sort of thing. In this scene from an episode of Barry O'Neill, the hero's colleague, Inspector Legrand, is in a spot. Kidnapped by Tunisian thugs and tossed into a waiting plane, the inspector can only look on helplessly as someone grabs the landing gear, climbs onto the wing, and shoots the pilot. Cliffhangers like this one were commonplace in the early days of comics, when stories were continued from issue to issue, and individual episodes often ran only a couple of pages. Could that mysterious interloper turn out to be our hero in disguise? Who knows? Tune in next week for Barry O'Neill. Dun, 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 dun. And that's a Golden Age comic book, yeah. The current age of comics has been going on from 1993 until now, and that's... Is it under C? The current? It doesn't say. And modern age, is it M for modern? Modern age, a catch-all term applied to comics published since 1992. Modern age. All right, there hasn't been a break in these ages since 1992. That's been 32 years. There has to be perspective. So in the space, the community of professionals and of business people, of publishers, of creatives, and of retailers and distributors and collectors. I mean, the person that made Richard Overstreet started in coin collection and stamp collecting too. So this collection, how to grade, evaluate items, collectibles, things that have value, scarcity. That's what really runs like the value of things when it comes to our comics. It's not that it's because it's a virgin foil variant and that you paid $8.99 for it. No. It's like scarcity is literally what dictates the value of that. Then comes condition. I mean, if you had a 9.8 slabbed, you know what I mean, just issue of something that just like didn't matter. Like, see a Fire and Ice #1. Welcome to Smallville. Hey, it's an issue 1. Hey, it's a Dodson variant. It's like, is that a bad example? I don't know. Or like as opposed to G.I. Joe #21, Real American Hero, Marvel Comics, like a 9.2 that goes for $300. What would a 9.8 go for? Now we could look it up. Why not? We have to get, G.I. Joe #21, 9.8. Wow. 9.8 of G.I. Joe 21 goes for $1,895, $2,450, $2,900, 9.6 going for $999.95. Remember, that's the first appearance of Storm Shadow as well. And those were direct market copies too. And you can tell the direct market copy from the newsstand copy from that Age of Marvel Comics. The little box on the cover of the trade dress, it has a UPC barcode. That's newsprint copy because that can be returned. And the direct market copy would have the Spider-Man face. Yes, this is good knowledge. This is like, the ins and outs. You get to know these things over and over again, like, because these are the standards of our hobby. And a big part of that standard is the Overstreet Price Guide. I need a new one. This is the 52nd edition. I also have the Overstreet Guide to Grading Comics, which is really good. I mean, and it taught me that it doesn't, yes, you have this accumulation of comic books, all of these short boxes. But if I had only been using boards in my bags the entire time, I would have avoided all of this spine roll. And all that spine roll kind of negated any of the increasing value of the majority of those comic books. Yeah, and just to learn the proper husbandry to maintain a collection. If your intention, I guess, is to maintain and increase its value through that scarcity. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But still, yeah, you would have to pay through the nose for like a reader copy of G.I. Joe 21 or or Marvel Star Wars number 68. I'm still looking for that. You know, I got 69 for $15, and it's the part 2 of the same story. But 68 has the first appearance of the Mandalorians in Star Wars mythos, in a way. You know, yeah. Pretty much. Well, thank you so much for tuning in today. It's Happy New Comic Book Day. Happy May 1st. Remember, today is the day to watch The Wicker Man. That's right. It's a good movie. This is not the Nicolas Cage remake. This is the beautiful, wonderful original. Well, it's the final cut, you know, but this is the 1974 Wicker Man. This is a wonderful movie. It's so strange. It's a slow burn, no pun, and it's a wonderful movie for this time of year too. Thank you so very much. Please like and subscribe. Would love to earn your subscription. Smash that like button. Turn on those notifications. And thank you, comic book fans. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. We will see you again in those funny pages. Ciao. Bye-bye. All right. Thank you, Pika.